We all come to pray, but we're back for warriors, keeping the whispers away. In suits and in skirts, we're the rebels you say, talking about life and dreaming of a different day. On the back row we stay, in the back we don't sway, just let the sermon flow. We're on the back row.
It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. Call it a belated Christmas gift. It's basically the only thing I wanted for my birthday, and now it has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the McGuire sisters. We've got the original, the OG, Megan, the Mitchell. We've got Molly, the Ashton, and my wife said I'm not allowed to do the last one, so the unfortunately named Meredith Simpson.
I'm just Meredith Simpson.
Yeah, can't be.
She said it was dumb.
No, I think that it's far more insulting than any of us realize.
A little bit of a slur.
Yeah. Calling someone a simp is a little bit of a slur. So don't.
So you can't say that.
Yeah,
I appreciate your wife guiding you directly.
That's why every time he said it, I would laugh so hard.
I don't have a clue. I'm not into
Yeah.
it.
Obviously.
Yeah, she said, please don't do that. I would like to continue to not be canceled and have you live in a life where you're not having to deal with. So there we are. The three of them, the three sisters together have taken time out of their vacation. They made sure to point out how close they were to the ocean. They've stopped watching Goonies. They aren't by the campfire right now. And for the next 58 minutes, we are going to talk about news about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. How has the vacation been so far, ladies?
Good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. We've got 31 people here. So
Oh
it's
my gosh.
time.
The rain in the forecast kind of disappeared.
Yay.
So, but I appreciate the rain coming from Arizona, but it's easier to enjoy your time outside.
Sure. Who paid the 12% so there wouldn't be rain? Which one of you was that?
Obviously.
You did.
Oh, we both did?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Well, she paid only 8%. So
Oh, okay. So
It
you
all,
made
works,
up.
it all works out, I guess, apparently.
It all equals to be 10%. I have to take this. This was on my phone. This one first with Molly the Ashton. I got a news alert today that Crumbles are now all going to be open 7 days a week. Have our founders, have they fallen away from the church? Do they not? Did they learn nothing from the folks of Chick-fil-A? Can they not be Jesus cookies? What is happening?
No, but I'm so curious where you read that. Was that like on the National Enquirer or what? Was it
No. It straight up was in like a legitimate news feed that said all Crumble locations will be moving to a 7-day-a-week open model. Sorry that I'm the one breaking the news to that.
Yeah, well, no. Like, I'm not
That's
sure whether to
really
believe
weird.
you or not.
No,
but
I'm being serious in that I read it and
Yeah.
that it was a real news source, but whether or not there's actual real things to it, I would hope that you would know. But
Well,
apparently-
I'll tell you this. There's many owners that beg to be open 7 days a week because in a tricky economy like we're in right now, if sales are dipping, there's an automatic way to increase revenue, and that's to open for a seventh day. There's a lot of people pushing for it. Our founder has always said absolutely not. So this is news to me. Meredith also owns a Crumble, so we're gonna have to do some research. And
I
find
don't.
this.
All right, yeah, no, hang on a second then. That doesn't seem fair. I feel like the two of you should share a Crumble with Megan the Mitchell. She deserves.
Guys, give me a story.
But we don't share stores. We
No,
have-
I got that.
Yeah.
He's basically
So,
saying I should give one of mine
Just give
to her.
one of them to
probably.
me, Molly. Just give it. to me.
Okay.
But
It's
also,
being said here today on this whatever day it is, you get my Crumble.
okay,
Yes.
cool.
You're
Bold of you
welcome.
though to assume that I want one.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate this because I feel
I just don't want a store.
I feel like I'm negotiating peace talks, right? So
Yes.
in a moment when exactly what I say isn't what actually comes to pass, as far as the peace talk and you getting a Crumble, that's perfectly fine, so long as I can beat my chest and say that we had peace negotiations for a minute
Sure.
and that I was the one that did it.
Sure.
Too political?
Listen, this is
Okay.
like the Middle East of cookies over here.
Yes.
So thank you for taking that on.
Of course.
Thank
I'm
you
glad to
for-
get you a Crumble store.
Appreciate
She's feverishly trying to find the article. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But it wasn't like wouldn't it be interesting if it was?
It was
It was.
legit.
It seemed legitimate, but It also
If
could have been a
now
deep
she
fake.
would.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is weird because I'm really tight working at corporate with on some things. So I'm surprised. So I'm excited to see the article.
Yeah, yeah. Excited to
Now
work
I've
on
got to
Sundays.
find some employees who want to work Sundays. Yeah, I would make some more money. I mean, I guess that's good, but I'm not sure I have anyone who wants to work.
No, everybody's thrilled.
Yeah.
Except I did have an employee one time leave me because she could not work Sundays. She was a student and she was trying to get as many hours worked and she had to push her hours to the weekend and she had to leave us so she could work somewhere, so she could work on Sundays. But most of my employees are so thrilled to have a
Yeah.
guaranteed one of their days off on the weekend.
Yeah, not that I'm a nerdy, weird guy about things like this, but I was actually listening to one of the folks that does the higher level with Chick-fil-A, and they talk about how the ability to have a day where they know that they aren't going to have to function actually recharges people, and
Yep.
to be able to do all that. Now, I got to know a couple things about you, Meredith. Married?
You could go with Mayor.
No, are
No,
you
no,
married?
no. Are you
Married.
married?
Oh,
Yeah.
Am I
Although
married?
I will
Yes, I'm
call you
married.
Mayor. Sure.
you can call me Mayor though. What?
I'll
Call me Mayor. You call me Mayor. Okay,
call you
but-
Mayor. That's fine.
Apparently, I am married and I'm apparently also deaf, which we're
Yep.
kind of working through. We've been married for 27 years.
Okay. How's that going? Good.
Yeah, it's working out.
Air
Okay.
the
and
dirty
you-
laundry, Meredith. Come on, the listeners are waiting.
No, it's good.
and then kids, you've got to have some cousins that are there with the other
I
cousins.
do. I have 4 daughters. I have one that just graduated from BYU. And I have one who's in nursing school in Arizona and she's married.
Mhm.
And then a 17-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old daughter.
Okay.
That's it.
Now, and then as far as the crumbles go, did Molly lead out on the crumbles and then you said, "Hey, sis, that seems cool," or did you lead out and then she said, "Hey, I'd like to do that"? How did that happen?
So she let out on the crumbles
Uh-huh.
and she was an early adopter, an
Uh-huh.
early partner. And she knew some people early on who were looking for another partner. And
Mhm.
she reached out to me and I wasn't sure I was interested on it. And I sat on it for about 6 weeks
Mhm.
and he said, okay, I think they really need an answer.
Mhm.
So I talked to my husband about it and he's like, yeah, you should do it. So
Are you wearing
Here we are.
makeup?
I put on lip gloss,
Yeah, you
Mhm.
did.
just a little bit of lip stuff, but
I rolled out of bed.
Me too.
Yeah. It's vacation, Meredith.
okay, hold on. She said she did not even brush her teeth while we were sitting so close
Yeah.
together.
That's me.
I took a shower.
Yeah. Okay.
I was up till 2:30 a.m. playing cards with the kids, so I get a pass because
Ladies,
I'm the-
it's not a competition. I love that you're all here. It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to be anything to anyone. The arms of the Richie involve and envelop you and just fill you with love. That's all it is. You don't have to be anything to anyone. Is there a favorite cousin among all of the cousins? Because you guys have all the kids together. Is there like the cool cousin, and whose kid is that? Is there is there one weird cousin that everyone's like,
No, the weird cousin lives in Alaska right now.
okay, is that your kid?
My oldest.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
okay,
So to keep things really neutral here, the cool cousin doesn't belong to any of the 3 of us.
It's our
It's-
cousin, I think.
No, I think it's Anne.
Oh,
It's the little one.
True.
There's a little girl here named Anne, and
Uh-huh.
she likes to pretend to be a puppy. And so all of our kids are much older, and so they love having this little cousin girl that just follows them around and loves
who is the
them.
random girl that belongs to none of you that's hanging in the house?
It's our cousin's daughter.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
And so I don't really know how the relation isn't quite exact cousin
like
to
second
cousin. They're like
cousins.
second cousins once removed.
There's
anyway,
a chart somewhere.
but we
Sure.
have a very small family, so they just know each other as cousins,
Mhm.
and that's
Okay,
it. So
okay. The other question that I have in following the 3 of you online, and then we will actually get to some news. I'm also excited to announce that much like Kurt Frankham from over at Leading Saints, I'm going to now aspire to be a bishop because I have a reason to do it. I'm excited to tell you guys about that in just a second. But I have to know, what are the yearly tradition things that the McGuire sisters do in Oregon? I know it seemed like watching Goonies by the Fire was one of them. What are the other, like, we have to do this as part of the tradition?
Oh, homemade ice cream.
oh yeah, homemade ice cream.
What we did last night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
did that last
grandma's
night.
recipe that is a little bit unique and not everyone loves it, but we love
amazing.
it.
We
so
love it.
good.
Is that like crank with the rock salt kind of Okay, okay.
Well, and even worse, our ice cream maker was broken somehow. So my husband every 10 minutes was going in and stirring it for about 5 hours.
Oh,
And
geez. Okay.
quite a labor of love. So homemade ice cream, we did last night, we did like relay games, you know, together and get to know you games because a lot of the youngers don't see the older ones for like a couple of years. And there's only
That's a lot of fun.
31. And so it's you can kind of talk to everyone, but still get to know them a little better. So that's super fun.
Sure.
Playing cards
playing
late,
cards,
and I
yes.
duck out because I do not love playing cards.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's a bad tradition is that I don't love playing cards. So they do.
And I love it. She is like, you're a little more neutral, right? With
Yeah.
cards. Like she went to bed.
Yeah.
But if there's like uneven numbers, I'll
Yeah.
bounce
Sure. I guess I'll take the dive. I'll play cards. Oh, Meredith went to bed. I guess I'll take her place. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Or, oh, Meredith decided to play this time around and now we don't have the right numbers, then I'll.
Okay.
Hot tubbing, but usually we allow it to be all the kids because there are so many of them and the hot tub becomes disgusting.
Yeah.
And
Hot tub soup.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of,
But last
But
night it
the
turned into the
sauna-
sauna.
Yeah.
The sauna.
we had to get a house next door because our numbers have grown so much with marriages and whatnot. So we have a house next door, which has a sauna. And
Mhm.
so we went over there were like 20 kids in the sauna. It was really
It
amazing.
was really funny.
And by kids, they're like 24, 21, like they're
Right, yeah.
big. They're
All the
big,
way down
all the
to,
way down to
like,
the baby
8.
that's 8.
So one last question that I have, just because I'm curious and whatever. Are there any cousins that are like, I'm trying to think about the way to say this, because I know that it occurs, and I don't mean anything necessarily about it, but are there any cousins that have found favor or find favor in other cousins in a way that's a little weird, but like not ever anything is going to happen, but you're like, I think that they might like each other.
Cousins, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to go so far as kissing cousins, but where you're like, I think that they like that might feel a little different. Do we have? I don't want to know who. This is one that can be anonymous, but I'm just wondering
I'm
if
gonna
there's
say
two
no.
cousins.
No, thankfully no. And I think it's because like our kids grew up down the street from each other. So
Okay.
they're very, very close.
Right.
And then, but I will say we had a cousin growing up that I had a big crush on.
Right. So it's not so odd what I'm saying.
Josh, he was our second cousin. He was Tommy's son.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a
Josh.
major crush
Okay.
on him at a family reunion. I mean, it could have gotten really weird.
Yeah.
It got weird on my part, probably not his. He probably
Sure.
didn't have a
No,
I-
oblivious. He's oblivious. I
mean,
just wondered if as moms, you guys are looking at it and you're like, we better keep a little bit of an eye, because that seems a little weird. That seems
I,
like,
Yeah.
I have a friend in
Weird.
my old ward in when I lived in Chandler. She met her husband at a family reunion. So that's weird, right?
no, you find
No,
love in all the
it's
places.
not weird at all.
No. All right, let me tell you guys about this, and then we'll take a break and we're going to get into some actual articles of news. Super sad news. The worst kind of news. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to look at the news that I sent you, but probably the first story we'll talk about. So tragic and terrible. But first, I have decided I am going to aspire to be a bishop.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited to hear this.
Yeah.
So I have a long time
Parking situation?
talk. What's that?
Is it a free parking situation?
Yeah, yes. Like at Arizona State University, I want to be able to park close to a particular building. No, here's the deal. I have a long time said, oh, I think that would be too hard, or man, what a labor of love, and all these things and all this stuff. I think what I would like to do, I am going to aspire to be a bishop, and I'm going to try and be a bishop for a year and then be done. So I know that normally they're in for 5 years and all of those things. So if I have to sell my house and move, that's fine. If I have to, whatever the thing may be, but I'm going to aspire for a year. And here is why. You know, we talked in the most recent articles of news about the new hymns that have been added, and how one of them is an African-American spiritual, I'm going to live so God can use me. Well, I have been doing a little bit of research in the Church Handbook of Instructions, and there is nothing that says as a bishop I couldn't get up and as I'm either doing the precursor to the testimonies or during my talk during the ward, there is nothing that says I couldn't get up and go, brothers and sisters, I woke up this morning and I've decided I'm going to live, and then have the choir behind me go, I'm going to live, and then have them be quiet, and then have it be like, I'm going to live so God can use me. And then, so God can use me. There's nothing that is, I mean, it is out of our faith tradition to certainly do something like that, but it is not against the rules to do that within our church handbook of instructions. And to me, I am willing to dedicate my 1 year of service to be able to make something like that happen. Because can you imagine how that would be in a ward house?
But how are you going to get that number of ward choir members who are that talented, who can just make that happen?
I appreciate your question. Also, in the church handbook of instructions, there is nothing that says that as a leader, I can't invite musical participants to come and to share their talents with my ward. It does not have to be only from the ward. It can be visiting participants. And so, in this whole thing, I will take all of my friends whom have either been members of the church or are members of the church, who are willing to commit to this one-time kind of thing, and they will come and they will join me on the stand, and we're going to be able to do this. Meredith, you have a question? I
Hey,
can see it on
do
your
have
face.
a comment. So,
Yes.
so recently, with the push for the church to focus more on traditions of the Palm Sunday, Good Friday, the Easter week traditions,
Yes.
our stake hosted an interfaith Easter concert,
Uh-huh.
Good Friday, and it was in the chapel. They
Uh-huh.
had so many pre-sale, they were free, but you had to book them. They did two concerts back to back,
Mhm.
and there was stage lighting in the chapel.
Yeah, there was.
There was hands, there was swaying, there was clapping, I kept looking at my husband saying, I've never experienced anything like this in an LDS chapel.
Mhm.
So I think you might be onto something. It was a great experience for this interfaith concert.
Mhm.
And then going to church the next Sunday, like 2 days later.
Mhm.
I had the memories of what happened on Friday night.
You're like,
and
I
thought,
want that,
we
please.
could inject a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I appreciate a couple things that that you said with that. I hadn't thought about doing tickets. I think I definitely will do tickets so I can take advantage of this. Hang on one second. The son is playing with my camera. The second thing is I love that as far as an interfaith thing, but you sort of think of that as coming, right? I want like opening hymn to be like the Spirit of God, and we're just like we're singing it in, that's taken 27 minutes of the time already, because we sang all the verses and we sang them way too slow and no one paid attention to the conductor. Like, I want that from the beginning. We do the sacrament, and then I want to get up and just like hard left turn to where we're going. I was thinking about how I'm gonna live so that God
Have
can
you
use
seen
me.
the movie? Is it Leap of Faith with
Sure. Yes.
Steve
Yes. Yes.
and then
And
are you
there's
gonna
nothing.
walk the aisles with your microphone
Yes.
and just lay hands on people?
But then we start to get a little too far, but I am going to make Deacon take the terribly wired microphone alongside with me down the aisles. And then if we can make sure that it doesn't quite work like it
Yes.
always does whenever we have that, or like where we can't figure out how to turn it up or turn it down, I'll do that as well. But anyway, thinking about aspiring to be a bishop, it's exciting. Mark this day, not only having the McGuire sisters, but the day that I decided I would aspire towards leadership. Let us take a break. When we come back, we are going to do actual articles of news. Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the cultural hall sense. I have a DJ company now, 6 of us strong. Great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie, I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. articlesofnews.com. Here in the second half of Articles of News, we do actual articles of news. Hit it, Peter.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. Meredith, I don't know that I asked you. Do you actually listen when your sisters are on? Have you listened to this? Or did you just get roped into something that they're like, nah, there's a third sister. Yeah, she'll come.
It's probably more that. It's probably more that. I really should add you into my Up Next on my podcast app, but it's probably more that.
But have you listened ever before?
I think one time.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I sort of got that. I got that feeling that that's how this was. That you're just like the agreeable sister to the, at least to the extent of like, yeah, I'll come do it because he's asking. But I don't understand why the two of you do this and why you think it's so much fun. He's not that great. How much time do we have left until we're done? It's fine, Meredith. I get it.
Yeah, Richie asked me, he's like, does she listen? Is she into this? And I was like, she doesn't not listen. I'm like, I think it's
Except
worth
I
a
don't think
shot.
she listens.
Right. I'm like, she doesn't not like it, but I wouldn't. It was interesting.
Hey, she's listened one time.
I have a lot of podcasts that I'm trying to get through, so I need to slip it in.
Well, I don't
Okay.
have many. I have this one and one other.
What's
So
the other one?
Yeah,
Mo
which
the
one?
Mo
Mo
News.
News.
Mo News. Have you ever listened?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
Okay, let's
best.
just really quick. This is a good thing for your listeners. They can
I
listen
don't
to
know.
this podcast and that. It is very unbiased news, and it's like 40 minutes every morning. I listen while I'm getting ready, and it's just giving me all of the latest like headlines, but it's completely unbiased, which I love.
So
I mean-
it's started by journalist Moshe Nunu, who has spent his career in CBS, Fox, a few other different, following presidential campaigns, all of it.
And he's Jewish.
He's
You couldn't
Jewish.
tell.
He's Jewish. And he, during the pandemic, he started going live. He had left his job at CBS, wasn't sure what he was going to do. At the beginning of COVID, he was going live on his Instagram and just kind of explaining to his small group of followers on his personal Instagram what it kind of giving context to news
Mhm.
and giving some background and giving a little bit of reporting until it's grown into, I think they've got like 8 or 9 employees,
Jeez.
podcasts, multi-dimensional. They're just part of that new news that's going through social media. And there's some people who are, very biased one way, very biased the other way. And there's a few creators who are trying to create an unbiased, give context to news, give background, why this matters, why this is junk, why you don't need to pay attention to this. It's really good.
I mean, not
That's
to
it.
truly be unbiased, but when you said the Mo News, I was like, how dare you? Another Mormon podcast?
Hey,
I really did. I was like, wait a minute. Why would they? No, that is not allowable. Thou shalt have no other podcast before this.
Funny.
All right. So let's get into some serious and heavy news. I'm not sure if you guys saw this.
Got a dog.
The fourth McGuire sister.
Oh, yeah. Which dog is that? That is
this is Baxter.
Hi, Baxter. Hello. Update on my dog. Not doing well. It's the worst thing ever. He's got something with a hemorrhage disc or whatever, so he has to drag his legs. It's far more heart-wrenching. I don't think he's in pain, but we've been to the vet a couple times. And you know how when stuff like that happens, world doesn't necessarily sort of stop, it just becomes difficult to focus on anything. That's what's going on. Thoughts and prayers towards Robert, my dog, appreciated. He's doing fine, not in pain, but it's just the saddest thing to watch him. What's that?
Get him a little doggy wheelchair.
If it comes to that, I really will. They think that if we do surgery, that he'll probably be okay, but they want to wait for surgery because he's still in the window of realm of possibility that he could recover just fine. And then you get into that really hard conversation of like, hey, they said the surgery would be $11,000. Do you spend $11,000 on your dog? To which some people immediately go, oh, yeah, of course you do. And other people go, $11,000 on a dog. Geez.
Yeah.
Your dog Robert looks a lot like my old dog. So
Yeah.
every time you post pictures, it makes me
Hmm.
remember my dog.
What was your old dog's name?
Bentley.
Bentley. Yeah. Yeah.
And we did have to spend a significant amount of money. And then anyway, he had cancer, didn't make it. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
it's-
no, it's one of those things where you sort of weigh it out. And so for right now, we're trying to really be good about being in the waiting place. And if anyone knows anything about me, that is the worst place that I like to hang out in. I'd like to control all the elements around it. Let's do news. So this in Lesotho, Africa, and you're thinking, where is Lesotho? I think that this is like the only country, or maybe Luxembourg is another one that's like this, where it's like a country inside of a country. There are 2 million people in this particular country. It's inside South Africa, the country of South Africa, but it is in fact its own country. 2 million people, 2,000 Latter-day Saints in this particular country, and there was 9 LDS girls and 2 adults that were killed in a crash on a way to a church activity just this last weekend. The African Kingdom of Lesotho is in mourning after 9 girls in a Latter-day Saint congregation, 2 adult leaders, were killed in a fiery bus crash. The girls, ages 12 to 17, part of the Maputo branch of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, were going to a one-day young women church activity. Their bus was involved in a multiple vehicle crash, which killed the 9 girls and 2 adults, left 9 other hospitalized. This according to Sayabonga Makizi, the Africa South Area 70, said yesterday as we record this. The details are still sketchy. The local authorities are doing a formal investigation. After the accident occurred, the event was canceled, and then reaching out and mourning began. This from the church, quote, "We are encouraged by the faith of the members in Lesotho and join with them, obviously, in this very difficult time as they have rallied around each other. They've received support not only from other church members and senior church members in South Africa, but the government of Lesotho has also been very supportive, including from the Prime Minister and the Queen."
Well, I thought it was interesting. They said there will be a public memorial service, and it says you'll generally will have a lot of government officials, politicians, community leaders, and the general public, which is, I mean, amazing that they are, treating this with such reverence. And I don't know what the word is for that, but I think that's really interesting and just heartbreaking that this happened.
I can't imagine, because we all live in wards, right? Have any of you guys lived in branches in a place where you're just in a small kind of thing?
No.
Technically, when I was in China, I lived in
Right.
a twin.
So there's very few people, but you are so very, very close with those people. I'm sure that it was a large majority of this branch that was affected, right? If you think that it's the girls and they're from different families, it's likely everyone in this branch, they all likely knew these girls, but it is probably part of everyone in this branch's family to then go and be like, hey, we're just gonna go to church today. I mean, tragic is the thing that comes to my mind. And I don't know. You hear about some of these things, and you always think, we hear and people will share from general conferences stories of like, and the Blah family, they saved up all their money and then they were able to go to the temple and take out of their endowments, and it was all this, and it's like this very joyous thing, and then you have something like this, and it's just hard. It's not like they were out partying. It wasn't a mini party bus. They weren't doing anything like that, and to have something like this happens, I hate it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I hate that stuff like this happens, especially in circumstances like that.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to the fact that as parents of youth, we send our kids off on these activities just hoping and praying that they're going to be safe, without any issue. My kids just all got back from Trek on Saturday, and we had send them on the buses to go and walk across the plains. And I was terrified, not terrified, but like I had moments of anxiety that I was going to get a call that something happened, either with one of my kids on the trek, or that something could happen to the buses on the way there or the way back, and it can be, I mean, it's already scary sending kids out into the world in general. And then when you're like, oh, I'm sending you on this church activity, I hope you're going to be protected. I think you'll be protected because it's a church thing, but things happen, and that can be really, really, really scary and anxiety inducing.
For sure.
And then to have it actually happen, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Meredith, you look like you were ready to say something.
Well, I was just thinking about how our youth, we just had a combined youth conference, hybrid girls camp, scout camp, youth conference situation. And our kids went up north on about 4 charter buses. And my daughter actually had to come home early with a handful of other girls because they had dance performances. So they only had to have. And I was just thinking how we sign these permission, they need the permission letter, they're gonna drive, they're gonna be in the buses and everything, and I just, no sign, no anything, like, oh yeah, there's room in this family's car, drive home with them.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, we're also, worried about the getting there and following all this protocol.
Mhm.
And I don't think a single one of us considered like, oh yeah, there's room in her car, drive home with these other girls who also have dance
Yeah.
and we have rules and protocol for a reason. And I hadn't really thought about how that really wasn't following that.
Mhm.
And how devastating it would be should something happen either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an accident a few years ago in our neighboring state where some kids were killed in a car accident, and the young woman leader driving the van, she had fallen asleep, and
Oh, geez.
really heartbreaking. Yeah. So
Yeah, and I mean, it's not church specific, right? Like this could have happened to anything on any road in any place and all this stuff. It is just part of life, but there's a part of me that wants like the magic of they were going to a church event to be like protecting, bubble wrapping the minibus as it goes because it's a church
They
thing.
said a prayer for no harm to fall upon them,
Yeah.
Right.
obviously.
I mean, it's like a missionary. You expect that they're going to be protected, I mean, what better place could they be? And it still happens. And
Right.
so, yeah.
Right.
It's a part of life for sure.
Well, I thought this was sort of interesting. This was, it came out in the last couple of days. The only letter in existence from Joseph Smith's maternal grandmother, Lydia Mack, so that's Lucy Mack's mom, is going for sale at auction. Occasionally these things will pop up in sort of the news things that I have that'll be like, oh, is it a Mormon thing, a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints thing, a Joseph Smith thing, whatever it may be. This letter gonna sell for like $40,000. It is the only letter from the maternal grandmother of Joseph Smith. What does it say? Nothing significant. Nothing like, not like the prophecy that my, the grandson of mine will be the prophet. And it's not anything like that. It just happens to be who this person is and their relation to the church that makes this thing worth $40,000.
That's crazy.
That is bonkers.
And is it a church member paying that, do you think? I mean, or is that just like a historian? I mean, I just wonder who thinks that has a value like that.
Well, I've got to think that it's some member of the church, because if it's not, or if you're not collecting some things around the church, why would you care?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's, interesting. Maybe it's like that guy. Remember that article I sent you where we read about that guy who has
Oh,
all of that?
Yes. And
historical.
he was like,
What?
yeah,
What is it? What is it? Ladies, share for the class.
It was like several months
Yeah.
ago, and this guy maybe he's in the Midwest somewhere.
I
he
feel
has,
like it was like Michigan or Minnesota
Yeah.
or something.
I have to find it. He has all of this church historical stuff. I don't know, items,
Yeah,
whatever.
books, documents.
And he's like mad that people don't think he's like a really big deal or something.
Yeah, he's like not a bigger deal, or like scholars at like BYU didn't want to look at it, or scholars in the church didn't want to look at it. We found it on, was it Worldwide United?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to find it.
It was on the Worldwide United Facebook page that
Okay.
we both happened to see it like
Yeah.
at the same time. And yeah,
It's interesting because all I remember is I'm like, well, he says he has all of this stuff, and people don't think he's a big deal, but it kind of seems like the things he has is kind of a big deal.
kind of stuff.
I don't know.
Okay, so that's interesting. On a different podcast I listened to a couple years ago, it was curators talking about the collections of Andy Warhol and how and then some other artists, and that there's museums who have entire basements full of everything that's artists have created, and there comes a point where a lot of it has no value.
Yeah.
Because it's just, there are the very, the things that tell a story, a period of time, a particular movement or whatever. I don't know if that's the case with this because no one
Right.
sent me the article, but
You guys, Meredith would listen to this if you would include her in some of the news. stuff we're talking about.
obviously, so no one sent me the article, but I do know there comes a point where we save a lot of stuff
Mhm.
and it may not all be of value.
Right. Because like the 6th rendition of this one little work of how to draw a leg maybe doesn't hold any value.
Anyway, interesting though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would pay $40,000 for it. It sort of reminds me up here in Bountiful, so north of me in the Salt Lake area, there is a place where these long people that live in Bountiful would know where this house is. It's this house that you just are kind of like, oh, that house. They've got a bunch of stuff in the yard and all of these things, and they have things like this, like if I remember correctly, like they have the clothes that Joseph Smith was martyred in.
Oh,
And they
wow.
have like they have this statue that was on Temple Square for a long time. They have one of the original altars from the Salt Lake Temple. Like they have some of these things, and it's just in this random house up on the hill in Bountiful, and it's these people that have sort of collected these things that you just go, That seems like a really big deal," but the church has sort of left them alone because of it's crazy. I'd love to get into this. I don't have $40,000. That's the thing.
Can you pay to go? I mean, it's like
No, no,
literally.
it's a museum kind of, but you have to know someone in the family to be able to go and see any of it.
Really interesting.
I got to go one time.
Ooh, lucky.
Yeah, it's very cool. All right, so that's random. Let's go to this story, shall we? The Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo is where this story comes out of. A major effort to preserve the Dominican Republic's historical and genealogical heritage, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, through its Family Search Initiative, has collaborated with the National Archives, AGN, to digitize 760,000 images containing valuable genealogical records for the people of the Dominican Republic. Now, here's the question I have for you. News, or is that just like, okay?
I mean,
Maybe news to some people.
yeah, but not to me.
Yeah,
I
news to
mean-
people in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I don't know.
So here's what I think is interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say.
should wake up my husband. He served his mission there 112 years ago. He may have some insight.
Wake up, hun. Hey, this podcast I never listened to, we have a question we'd like to ask you.
We need our local Dominican Republic expert to weigh in.
Well, here's what I think is kind of interesting about it, and I don't know that it's exactly the same, but there's been everything in the news right now about the 23andMe and the DNA and all the records, right? And the church had something to do with that, kind of, and the big question is there an issue with making these records, in that case DNA, public for everything? I'm sure that the church has come in on these genealogical records and said, hey, we have a huge, force. We have this great way of double checking and triple checking these things. Give us those records and we will make them searchable, and we will make them findable, and we'll make them trackable, and people can interface with them. They can be able to see it and all that stuff. And I'm sure that like the people of the country are like, great, you're willing to do that. That's for free. That's awesome. We would love that you would do that. And then on the other side of it, I wonder if we go, and we will do it if you allow us to have access to all of that information. And I wonder if that's the same. It's obviously not the literal same as DNA, but is there issue to be had about like, I don't know that I want the church to have all of the records of the people of Dominican Republic? Or am I, going down a rabbit hole that doesn't matter?
Well, I mean, we already have this in the US, right? I mean,
Sure.
our records are digitized. And actually, we just went to the temple last week with 6 other couples, and we did sealings for like 79 people that day in this session. It was incredible. There were some families that were 11 people. There were 11 of us in the sealing, all grown adults. It was incredible. But my girlfriend, she has this burning testimony of temple work, which she didn't used to. And she's at the temple 4 or 5 hours a day. And she was talking about how she's finding things and uploading them to the records. And she's doing her own research about these families that come to her mind that she's doing work for. And it's really kind of incredible. And it's made me kind of excited. Our family is hopping on board. We're actually working on a family of all slaves. It's a family of 25 slaves, and there's just not a lot of record for them. And being able to do that. So I see that there is a value for our posterity and for the people of the Dominican Republic, for their posterity. To have those items and see them. So I think it's really amazing that it's being done. Isn't news, not necessarily, but I think it's incredible for these people.
Well, and public records are public records, right?
Yeah.
You would Yeah, are they only public for the people of the Dominican Republic? Are United States public records only public for people within the United States?
Well, and that's sort of part of the question that I have. Like in the United States, we're like public records, but as Dominican Republic, like we do not have public records. These are the
Right.
records of, I don't know how that is in different countries and different, parts of the world if it's like that. Because I know some of the documents that the church has made public are things like the family trees from Bibles that they would get in these communities in Europe, right? They'd go in and say, yes, we absolutely will scan it, we'll take great care of it, and we'll make this information available. But it's like church records. Is that the same? Is it not? I agree with like the eternal aspect of like, yeah, we got to get people's names. If we're going to do work for them, we got to know who they are, and we got to make that happen. I agree with that, but I wonder if there is people on the other side going, oh, hold on, church, I know you're willing to make these available, but we don't know if we want you to have them. I don't know. It's just a thought I've had.
Interesting.
I want to talk a little bit about this, and I know that Meredith, in her words, does not care one bit about the
secret life.
Secret
secret
life.
lives of
I
Mormon
do
wives.
like the Deer Valley situation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's wild.
All right. Well, you queued it up. Tell me about the Deer Valley situation so that people know.
Okay, so I've only seen a reel. I don't know who these people are,
Uh-huh.
except I do know there's one woman dressed in summer clothes standing in the lobby of a ski lodge, and a young man comes walking in his snowboard gear, carrying a snowboard.
Uh-huh.
And the woman says to him, "How was the skiing?" And he says, "Oh, it was great." And the problem is Deer Valley does not allow snowboarding.
What doesn't he even say? I've never been to Deer Valley before in the real.
He probably did. He probably did. And he probably said, yeah, and Deer Valley does not allow snowboarding.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of competing themes in this, that one's not dressed appropriate for the season and one's carrying gear that is not skiing gear.
Yeah.
So I thought that was wild. Their fact checking on the team is a little lacking.
Well, and I like the idea of, I'm not sure who kind of first noticed this. I remember as I was watching it going, something sort of pinged and was odd, but I just was like, I got to save all my emotional bandwidth for just making it through this show rather than chasing things down. I would love the idea of like an actual fact check, almost like what we do in debates and stuff like that, where it's like, there's no way this was filmed in February, blah, that she would be wearing that. The snowboarding there, that's not a restaurant there. There's another shot where they talk about being in Provo, and the drone shot is the Salt Lake Temple, and it's like the stamp at the bottom is like Provo, Utah, and it is very clearly the Salt Lake Temple. I'm in favor of fact checking it, but you can't
Somebody
snowboard
like-
at Deer Valley.
Somebody
What?
should do a pop-up video of it where everything that comes up that's not legit, just a little thing flashes up. Like, you remember
Yes.
pop-up video from back
Yes,
in the day?
of course.
I
Of
tried to
course.
explain that to my kids. They don't get it.
Well, my favorite part of that article is the very last line. Ultimately, I imagine this damning clip will make it enough so that people will stop watching this godforsaken show.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it is. I was on board until they said that they snowboarded at Deer Valley, and now I can't continue to do it. I can't.
But Deer Valley trolling the whole situation was
Exactly.
the best.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Deer Valley putting out the reel on it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Any time that brands get involved in stuff like that, I'm all for it. Like when there was the big chicken sandwich thing of a few years back, and Wendy's went in after Burger King, and Chick-fil-A was getting in on it. I love when people will have those petty, it doesn't really matter conversations. I guess on a large scale it probably does, but they'll just act like they're being catty people as brands. Bring it. Bring it. There's also, I know that you probably already have locked away the time, Molly the Ash Ashton, to watch the reunion show. There's words
yeah.
coming out about the reunion show. Do you have anything to report about that? Obviously, it hasn't come out as a recording of this, but
Yeah, no, I don't know, but when I got word of it, heard about it, I was like, okay, when is it happening? There's no date that's been announced, but it seems like it should be happening soon-ish. But I don't have any details or anything about what's going on with them. All I'm seeing is Jen and the 3 pregnant ones, I keep seeing reels pop up of them dancing with their bellies.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Is it-
so
I'm going to be the only gentleman in a 4-part episode, and the other 3 being women. I'm so weird, and I don't know if it's because like I've never had a wife that's been pregnant, but I'm so weird about pregnancy, and I'm also weird about small children. So I'm willing to just say this is a complete me thing. But
Yeah.
like the pictures. I don't know that I even want to go here actually now that I've started and do it.
I
But
think
Oh,
you
come
need
on.
to.
Yeah,
You have
you
to
need
you know,
now.
like the pictures, it seems like they're very on trend or brand to have like the husband behind and the open belly and the hands around the belly. Like I think that creating a human is an amazing thing. I think that it is like God ordained, all the things. And then there's something about like I don't know. There's something about like pregnancy and small children that just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know how to I don't know how to I don't know like so I used to this is where it started. This is where it started. Let me just say this. I used to work at a pool. When I was 15 years old, I used to be the groundskeeper at a pool. And in this particular area, there were lots of women that would wear bikinis and then be very, very pregnant. It was in Utah. There were lots of very pregnant women in bikinis. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't, it's not any sort of like judgment like, ooh, that's gross. That's not what I'm saying. But there's something that I just like, it just is, it is out of sorts. It is a different thing that I just have never been able to be comfortable around. It speaks volumes about me. It's like changing baby diapers. I can't do it because it makes me uncomfortable.
okay.
Okay, where do you fall in the birth order of your family?
I'm
Are you
middle.
the youngest?
I'm middle.
Oh.
I am the
So you
middle.
would have seen your mom pregnant.
Yes.
Interesting.
But my
Interesting.
but to that point,
Yeah.
but to that point, my mom was not at all the like
Wearing
flaunt it
bikini,
pregnant
specifically.
mom. Yeah, no, she was like
It was
If I
covered
had-
up.
if I had to classify her, she would be like hoodie, sweatshirt, or like I mean, she didn't wear that or like a muumuu, but she was that sort of pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say our mom was that sort as well.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest.
Well, you can imagine.
Yes, I can.
But yeah, it is funny. I'm not into the dancing belly and rubbing, naked bellies together like those girls are. It's weird, but
Yeah.
it's fine. One other thing though, I don't know if you saw that Shark Ninja is trying to capitalize on the dirty soda trend that these
Sure.
ladies really helped to push. And the Shark Ninja, it's that ninja that makes the ice cream, right? Like that little
The creamy.
the creamy, yeah, right. Is that it? No, the Shark
Ninja-
Ninja
No,
it's a blender. I don't know what it
that's
is.
the Ninja blender.
yeah, 'cause
There's a
it's-
shark. They're Shark and Ninja company.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
They make a lot of things.
Shark and Ninja loved each other very much, and
Yeah.
after
And-
they went to the temple, they
They
decided.
rub their bellies together.
Was it Ninja or Shark who had the very, very pregnant belly with the bikini?
Yeah, it
Exactly.
was it. Well, I think if you think about it, it would have to be the shark
Yeah.
because a pregnant ninja doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it?
that is
Hard to
true.
be nimble and stealth as a pregnant ninja. No offense, in case there's a pregnant ninja listening to this. Yes, you have every right to be a pregnant ninja. I'm not, limiting who you are and your options.
The title of the episode, something about pregnant ninjas.
Yes, you have every right to be a pregnant ninja. Hold on, let me write that down. Go on, please, Molly.
Well, anyhow, I mean, they're just talking about how they spend $700 million on advertising each year and how, this sort of relevant marketing with the Mormon wives is going to lead to huge sales, that sort of thing. So I just love it that, the dirty soda has been around for a while, but these ladies really brought it into mainstream. In fact, the Dirty Baja Blast, which is Taylor Frankie Paul's creation for Taco Bell, has become a family staple at our home when we discovered you can buy a 4-pack for $5 on the app. And so we are definitely buying into the Taylor Frankie Paul Dirty Baja Blast at Taco Bell.
What's in it?
It's a Baja Blast with coconut. I don't know. Are any of my kids here? I don't know.
I would
Coconut
never.
cream.
I cannot stand it.
Coconut
It's
like
amazing.
do.
It's amazing.
Okay, but what's in a Baja Blast? I should know this because
Well,
I
the Baja
frequent
Blast
Taco
is
Bell as much as you
a
do.
Baja
It's
Blast
that
is
blue Mountain Dew
it's
thing,
just a
right?
Mountain Dew flavor.
Oh, got it.
So I
Okay.
think it's like maybe a tropically Hawaiian, and I get the zero sugar, of course, and it has coconut cream in it. It's amazing. So, and I'm way too cheap to buy a soda. We make our own at home, but for $5 for 4, it's a
Mhm.
really good deal.
I
Anyway.
just would like to reiterate that what we just said was a dirty Frankie Paul Baja Blast. In what world would we ever drink something called a dirty Frankie Paul Baja Blast? Like, we start to borderline on some things that you're like, please bless that we never say those words again. Here's the thing that I think is absolutely more fascinating. I was out and about the other day, and there were some women from New Jersey here in Salt Lake County, and they were very loud. They were like, I would imagine the McGuire sisters at an 11 in public in Salt Lake when you guys have had all the Frankie Paul Baja Blasts, blah, blah. They were here visiting the sites that they had seen on Secret Lives.
So
Mormon
they
Wives.
were on like a walking tour of
That was their vacation.
Wow.
They were there. They wanted to go to the
That is-
crumble. They went to the this. They went to the that. That was what they were doing.
That's crazy. Yeah, Megan did mention we did that for Napoleon Dynamite, but I'm sorry, like they're on
wouldn't fly
different
anywhere for
levels.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I wouldn't fly anywhere to do like a tour or something like that, but
Yeah, that's
You
weird.
literally went to the Napoleon Dynamite scenes. I know you
It's like a 2-hour
drove.
drive
Well,
You drove. This is no
Oh,
different.
that's
to get there.
true.
To get here.
but you didn't have to spend money. To
That's true. We
fly.
didn't have to spend money.
I would do it. I think it's kind of fun, but not for the Mormon wives. I mean, like
Yeah,
Napoleon Dynamite is like
Yeah,
on a
cult
different
classic.
level.
It's
Yeah.
like going to the Goonies sites here,
Yeah.
which we've all done that.
Sure.
But no, not the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I like now I'm wondering, can you Google? And I mean, we could all find it because we were all familiar with Utah. We could find all the places, but like,
Oh no,
Is there-
there are sites that are like, if you want to go and see, like if you want to stay at the Black Rock property that they stayed at,
Yeah.
if you want to go and see the
Deer
neighborhood that
Valley.
they
when it
live in,
was
blah
at
blah
Deer
blah.
Valley.
Yeah, yeah.
interesting. That
You
is
can snowboard
wow.
at Deer Valley. You can do that as well.
very interesting.
All right, ladies, the waning moments of this whole thing. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to
I
mention.
like to talk about the
Strange.
convert baptism.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I saw this article all on my own the other day, and it said, so the LDS Church hits highest number of convert baptisms in its history. And I just thought this was really interesting. And I know that with the growth of the church in Africa and South America, that's making these, the church is way more widespread than it used to be.
Mhm.
The amount was 20% higher than any other year in history, with 370,418 convert baptisms.
Mhm.
Now, of course, this article does talk about how retention is a struggle and how we need to be better about retention. But they even said that the attendance in sacrament meeting is higher than it's ever been as well with new convert baptisms. So really, really great that the missionary work is pressing forward, and that these people are being given that opportunity to convert to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I love it. But having a son who recently returned from a mission, the retention is a struggle. And I also have to say, like on the flip side, some of the people that he baptized, I sometimes wondered, like, oh, are they really ready? I do think there is
There's
a
a lot of
little
that.
bit of
Mhm.
that happening. And I
Where
don't know.
did he serve? Remind me where he served.
He was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
Delaware, etc. But it just seemed like they really, they pushed for the numbers, and I guess there's positive to that as well. That sometimes it's just getting them in the door and really getting them there, but sometimes I think some were maybe not quite ready.
Yeah.
think
I
as
mean,
well.
to take it in a very serious role, I think that we all, that is the collective, we, the four of us, and we as a church have a much larger role to play in that than I think that we recognize, or certainly that we take on. Like, think about in your ward. It's a little different. I'm in Utah, Arizona is where we're talking about between the four of us here. But are we, hey, that person is new here. That person is new in the ward. Do they feel like they could come talk to me when the elders or sisters move away? Do they have someone that they could be connected to be able to ask the hard questions to? And I'll be honest, I'm terrible about it. I'm a very social person. I'm not good as far as that goes. I'm
Yeah.
quick to point out when I go to a new ward and people don't welcome me, but am I quick to welcome people when I'm at my ward and I see someone new? No, I'm terrible about it. But that is part of what we could do.
Yeah, it's true. I think it's, every ward should have some sort of system set up. And I will say, we just had a recent convert baptism a month ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And we have a Relief Society group and the support that this gentleman has been given has been awesome. I've been gone the whole time, really.
I know,
But
vacations, it's rough.
yeah, unfortunately. But I've been seeing on the group me that everyone really, supported the baptism, and they've been so excited when he, was able to pass the sacrament, all these things. It's been really cool to see people embrace him. Now, that's also, we don't have many convert baptisms. We had one, an 18-year-old girl about 6 or 9 months ago who's been incredible. And so
The high school kids have been great.
yeah, it's been really cool to see, but that really is the key. And I think in other areas, we're very blessed to live in Arizona and Utah where the concentration of members is really high, but in other areas where it's a struggle, let's say Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the ward already is smaller and really spread out, for them, it's maybe a little harder to embrace these new members. And so,
Well, and I think there's also, get a new member, a new convert in the ward, and for the first, say 3-6 months, everybody's
Everyone,
all in.
yeah.
But then it's 3 to 6 years down the line, that that energy still needs to be put into the retention, to us having them be an integral part of the ward. We can't let it drop off when we go, okay, we did our 6 months, everything looks good. We're good. Everything's good. We're taking a step back. You're way to go, brother.
Yeah.
That it needs to continue on like in perpetuity. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you used it very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I used it.
This has been everything that my heart has wanted, McGuire Sisters. I recognize the time is precious. We are on vacation, and by we, I wasn't invited, but the three of you.
Next time. You should come to our next family reunion.
Don't say it if you don't mean it. Clear it with the husband
mean it.
first.
I don't know if we can afford it for all 30 of us.
That's so true.
I mean,
Well,
we need a bigger family. And then
if
we
all
can
of
ship
us chipped in $10.
I don't think he'll do it for that either. But
No,
maybe.
I'd come on. I just need the invitation, whether or not
Okay.
I actually attend. Now, Meredith, do you know how the end of these episodes go?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, no,
Mom
this
barely knows it.
this is
I feel like I'm as good as the Pharaoh. I
Nope.
mean, come on.
no, you're not. I appreciate that you feel like you're as good. So, Meredith, we end each episode, and I say we hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body. So we sort of add these things that we hear all of the time. Guys, don't help her. These things that you hear about in like prayers or like in testimony meetings and things like that. So I say we hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body. Is there anything that you hear on the weekly or super culturally that you're like, oh man, that always has to be mentioned, whether it's in a prayer or from a testimony, that you would close this episode out with?
Okay, so I guess we could go back to the travel, that no harm will befall us, right?
Yeah. And the befall is an important part of it.
Yes,
love
it
that-
is.
that
We don't
no
know what
harm-
that means, but we say it all the time.
Yep. That no harm or accident.
No harm or accident. No harm or accident will befall us.
Yep. All right. So then, Megan, you want in on this?
That if you're not healthy enough to listen this week, you'll be healthy enough to listen next week.
All right. So then, Molly, now we go to you.
I don't ever say this part.
I
Wait,
know.
So now I forgot. Oh, you weren't healthy. And we'll be saving a seat for you.
Nope.
The third part.
Nope.
Yeah, hold on.
Well, we can't say that when the time comes, we'll travel home in safety, because Meredith just basically.
I
said
know.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, befall us. So you can, so there, you could have gone there. I would have allowed that if you would have automatically said, and when the time comes, yeah. But I will also allow that we bless the food, the sugar out of this crap. That's been a long time since we've said something like that. You could also say that
Or
we,
missionaries in the field.
yeah, or that we have a good day.
Yeah, I
We
think
would
I could say
accept
that.
having a good day. So it just has to be something from our regular worship that we say without thinking, and then I'll wrap it up.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, bless the hands that prepared them.
Oh yeah, the hands prepared
I
it.
do.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, that was
many
my
hands-
husband.
So many hands to bless. Yeah.
Okay, so bless those hands that prepared it, and then I'll wrap this thing out.
And we'll bless those hands that prepared this.
Yes. You know what? Here's the best part about this, Meredith. This may be the best that she's ever done this before. Right now. In the meantime, go Tar Heels. Chris at Alpine Lakes Travel, Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, and the Tiger with a U will be saving a seat for you
On the back row
of the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat. On the back row, we really gotta go on the Cultural Hall show. Ow!